we all know you got to stop Saquon Barkley, and that's your best chance to beat the Giants. But the Giants got to figure something else out. Daniel Jones can't turn the ball over in the red area to the points that you made, Max. The bottom line is this, though. Big Ben is back. This team has new juice. They feel offensively, this defense feels offensively that all we got to do is make sure we get him the ball enough and we can win games. If not win our division and have a chance to go to the Super Bowl. This Pittsburgh Steelers defense is a problem for every team in the league, Stephen A. It ain't about the Giants being bad. It ain't about Saquon Barkley being a great back and them just stopping him and committing everybody to the box, Max. This defense did this to a lot of people last year. This offense for the Pittsburgh Steelers was scoring 11 points, and they were winning those games. They were winning them. So whether they want to commit to the box, whether they want to stop you from throwing, this defense has showed the propensity to do all of those things. In any game that they play, they did a tremendous job last night. And look, we know the Giants ain't world beaters. And Max, to your point, the line of scrimmage got to get better for the Giants because in the glory days, as much as we want to talk about OBJ and Eli and even dating back to when Brandon Jacobs was there, when I was playing against him, it was the line of scrimmage for the New York Giants that got them to Super Bowls, that won Super Bowls for them. It was a defensive line that could get after the quarterback, the opposing quarterback. Them stacking the box on Saquon ain't have nothing to do with the Giants not being able to apply pressure to Ben. Ben just getting back, was playing nervous. Ben can't move that well, let's be honest. And they could not get to him. They could not sack Ben Roethlisberger. So we got all of these excuses that we gonna create. Let's just give the Steelers their credit and say this defense has been championship level since last year, and now they got a Hall of Fame at quarterback with good receivers that trust him and know he gonna get them the ball. The Steelers are a problem, and the Giants ain't good. That's what it boiled down to.
Well, I don't think it boils down to simply that, Marcus. And the only reason I'll question it is because I know that the Steelers are stout against the run. I have complete confidence in their speed and their athleticism and their tackling ability. But in terms of secondary, when you can throw the football, I have seen too many plays given up. Now, Minka Fitzpatrick arrived and they definitely elevated their pass defense. No doubt about that, because the brother is special, and I get all of that. But the flip side to it is that when you beat the Steelers, if you really, really pay attention, Marcus, to who beats the Steelers, it's usually people who can throw the football. They don't get run over. You don't beat the Steelers with a running game.
No doubt.
You beat them throwing the football. So, again, because Daniel Jones was a bit compromised in terms of the weapons he didn't have available to him. I'm not saying you're wrong about the Steelers' defense. I'm saying there's nothing wrong with taking a wait-and-see approach with their pass defense. When Max and I and Molly had Mike Tomlin on the show last year, he joked around with me because I've been getting at him about that that secondary for years. I've been going, and he checked me a little bit on it to talk about how we're improving, et cetera, et cetera. So it was a fun segment. I'm simply saying that their secondary is usually a question mark. They're usually there, but because they're relatively short,
but since
if
they
you
got,
are somebody that can go up
Stephen A.,
and get it, it's usually an advantage for you.
As you mentioned, since they got Minka Fitzpatrick, the defense went from good to excellent. That's what held the season together for them, to me, without Roethlisberger last year.
Yeah.
If you want to say, do they have a shot at a Super Bowl this year based on what we saw yesterday, I think the answer is yes. Of course, there's going to be some sloppy play this early in the season without a preseason, but given that Tomlin went 8-8 without Big Ben, now he's got Big Ben back looking pretty sharp for a guy who's been off that long, I think you have to say yes. My issue with the Giants is the same now as it's been for years. It's not that they don't invest in the offensive line. High draft picks, big free agent contracts. For years now, they've been trying to address this. Gettleman, the GM, said when he got the job, he was going to address the offensive line. They have not been successful enough at it. It has gotten better, but not good enough. No pass protection. Then pass protection, no run blocking. They must, listen, Swagoo, as you mentioned, that's how the Giants have always won. You know, defense, yes, but always. Bill Parcells with his hogs up front, right? Always offensive line, even with the Eli teams. Offensive line, this has been going on, Molly, now for over, it feels like a decade. They can't get it right.
Let me real quick, let me flip this back to the other side. Stephen A., you make a good point. You could throw for a lot of yards in this league. Good defenses give up a lot of yards. But you know what the Steelers don't give up? A lot of touchdowns, which is their calling card. And secondly, now that you have been, from a football perspective, you are going to put an immense amount of pressure on the other team to make big plays. And you give this defense an opportunity to know what's coming, this could be the best defense in the NFL. Last year, this defense held it together with glue, with an offense that put pressure on nobody to do anything outside of what they needed to do. Now you telling me Ben could possibly give you high 20s to 30 points a game with this offense, and you gonna allow TJ Watt and Bud Dupree and Cam Hayward and Bush when they blitz him and Mika Fitzpatrick when they blitz him to tee off? I like those chances for the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's my point. You can give up 400 yards passing. You don't give up touchdowns. You remember how good the Patriots was when they won the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Bad defense in the big field to play. You get to that red area, they clamp down. I think they were like number 1 in the league.
Against
That's who the
good
Pittsburgh
quarterbacks,
Steelers
against
are.
elite quarterbacks, you can't blitz 29 times.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.